So hello guys, I remember your humble host Benjamin and you are on screen today watching this very interesting podcast in real life. And I'm here with a very interesting guest that is going to share with us real life experiences on the topic saving and emergency funds. Let's meet you please. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Otamide and I'm also known as IG Baby. I'm popularly known as IG Baby.
Yeah. Okay, tell us more about you. What's so peculiar about you?
Okay, so I'm currently a student in Jabu. I'm a 300 level law student. I'm a car dealer, I'm a car agent, and I do a couple of things actually.
Okay, that's actually very nice. But then the topic savings and emergency funds. I wanted you to I don't know if you've heard about the term emergency fund before.
Yeah,
I've heard about it. What comes to your mind when you hear the word emergency funds?
Now, when I say emergency funds, I've been in the situation of needing emergency funds, so I can relate to that aspect, and I know many of our viewers can relate to that aspect. Now, emergency funds are funds that you don't budget for, but comes. There are expenses that comes when you don't budget for it at all. Just okay. For instance, you don't know if somebody is going to be sick now. Yes, you don't have money. The person falls sick. The weight of the sickness is more than what you can actually afford. At that time, you need something to fall back on, which is an emergency. And you don't have funds for it, so emergency and funds bringing it together.
So as your saving habits impacted your ability to access emergency?
Yeah, actually. This is a realistic show here, so I'll say based on reality. I remember when I was a JUPEP student in the school. So at that time, I was from start. I like being financially independent. So I needed some things at that time. I had the goal that I needed to achieve at that point. So I started up this saving thing. And during that time, I was not financially stable. I was still on parents' funds. So I started saving up for what I wanted to get. At that time, now saving. When you save and you don't take care of yourself, that savings should go back to that thing that you're not. So that was what happened. I was saving, I was not eating. Shaker. So I got sick. I had to spend that money of savings on that sickness. Yes. Now that thing was priority. Saving for what I needed or my desire. It was not a necessary need now. It was a desire. Saving for it at the expense of myself cost me that funds to be an emergency funds that I use for emergency.
The emergency at that time was your sickness, right?
Yes.
So because of the fact that you wanted to save up for a particular thing, you starved yourself.
Yes, exactly.
For how long? You said tell us how long. How long did you do that? For you to fall sick, that means you must have gone extremely.
At that time, I won't say I wasn't eating. But at that time, my allowance the economy was still stable at that time. So my allowance was, I think I cut my allowance by 30%. So at that time, I wanted more money for the savings and low eating, low things on myself. So I'm somebody that don't go for materialistic things like per se. Not like I want this, I have to get there. But that one thing I wanted to get at that point. So I cut my finances by 30% and 30% for the savings and the remaining 70% on. I'm a student now, I have to get this and stuff like that. So I think I saved for about 4 months. Yeah, I think I saved for about 4 months. Not like starving, but I'm not used to that life. That life of I was not, from home you have everything. So coming to school now and changing that for 4 months, it was really well. So that was
I can really relate. Wow. Where do you usually keep these savings that you will not be able to touch it for that 4 months? Because once you be tempted,
determination matters. So I'm somebody that I would say I'm not moved by what do they call it, pressure. No, I'm not moved by pressure. But sometimes when that pressure comes, this discipline comes in. What I wanted to get at that time was pressure, but I just gave in to it that okay, let me just be.
What did you want to get at? What was
okay? I was at that time I was using a Samsung phone, so I wanted to get an Apple phone.
Then you get an Apple phone.
Yeah,
So you stabbed yourself.
just yeah.
Well, I actually love the determination. But then, is there any other thing apart from the phone that you've actually like stabbed yourself to get?
After that time, I just left it. That phone, I didn't get it with that phone again. So I was just like, okay, what will be. Check it. And later, I think a year after, I went to car dealing. I was an agent for a car or an auto company. So from there, I started getting funds. I didn't need to save to actually do things. I get money on steady base. Like my percentage, like for instance, I sell a car of 100 million naira. I might hike the price to 180 million. Depending on the price my client will buy it, then I give my dealer his own money. He gives me my percentage and also the percentage that I cut from the deal from the client. So I don't need to, but out of that excess money, I won't say excess money because everything, I'm somebody that when I have that money, I spend on what I can. And I also like, okay, what about if I needed something later? I won't be broke on funds. So I divide those funds into two. I do the excess commodities, and the remaining that I save. I use normal bank to save, and that yes, and that determination is I don't lock money OP and stuff. Once I just see this one, okay, if I have like 100,000 in my account, I save 50,000. Once that money gets to 59,000 naira, I know that okay, this is 9,000 remaining. This is
and you don't touch it.
I don't touch it.
Okay, so that's actually very nice as far as I am concerned. But I wanted to ask one very particular question. What are some common mistakes people make when it comes to savings and emergency funds? What are common mistakes people make?
You see, starvation number one. So how will I call it now? Determination number two. Now I'll base on these two factors. You see, when you starve yourself for saving, now you're not okay. You're saving for what? It depends on the funds you're actually earning. What you're earning from, like you see people that go for loans and stuff. The banking industry find what is comfortable for them, dividing it by the percentage of their earnings. Now, if your earning is 200,000 a month, your savings should be at least 50,000 naira. Don't go more than that. Especially if you're maybe a family person, you have rents to pay, now the future is there. When you save that 50,000 for your savings, that's strictly on saving. The remaining 100,000, you know how food is. The remaining 150,000, you know how food is expensive now. So let's say you budget 100,000 naira for your food and everything. Now, there's no way you tell me even that 100,000 is much. But let's say maybe you don't have a car, you're going transportation and everything. You have to calculate how much will I spend on transportation throughout the month from this salary. You have to be like, how much is the hospital bill, emergency, how much will I, all those things. So you have to put much things in consideration before actually saying you want to save. Again, before you say you want to save, and you have to look at yourself first. What are you earning? Can you go through this? Second one, determination. You see, there are some people that they don't have this self-control for spending. Now, you see shawarma on the road, and you see this, let me buy. There's one of my friends that you say, spend this money. You don't know if you wake up tomorrow. What if you wake up tomorrow? What will you get that kind of thing? So you have to be determined that this thing I must, not at the expense of yourself. That's going back to the first factor, not at the expense of yourself. But yes, once you calculate and you make those calculations and they're accurate, you now have to be like, I'm determined to do this. Let me see how far to take me. I started saving for that for more, and I saved for a year. I saved for 2 years now. Straight. And when maybe those expenses come, I have that thing to fall back on. This is my savings. I can just. But when I don't have anything, that most of the things I get now that they are not saving. The iPhone I wanted to get that time, I got it. I had the idea of buying it like 3 days, and I bought it the third day. I was just like, let me get this one. The third day I got, and it was from not from the savings money that I was saving before. So just okay, let me get, and there was something I could fall back on without slacking. That was so determination. And there are some things that okay, birthday is coming. You know, suppose come the think say, I want to start saving. Those savings will be there. That just like, how much do I need to? And it's not that because something is coming up, you now say.
But imagine a situation whereby your savings doesn't actually meet your expectations. Do you like have like a plan B to get those emergency funds, or you just base your emergency funds off your savings?
For me now, for me practically, I'll say aside savings, when I need money, I get money from my business, my friends. Now I keep up with friends that I know that they are of my standard. Now I'm not being sentimental here. Now I'm just saying of my stand. I'm a middle class person, so I keep up with people that okay, they can come to me and I can go to them. That's when I need 50,000 naira. Somebody that is on my line that will kind of do the same thing. Sometimes I call my boss, I need this without doubt.
That means you have sure people that will actually come to your rescue when you need this emergency thing. That's actually very nice. You get it right in your particular podcast that good saving habit is actually very, very important when it comes to needing or accessing emergency funds when you need it at a particular time or the point of distress. So you have to make sure that you have that zeal to save. If not, what you need emergency funds for at the time when you need it might not actually like come to So that means your saving habit needs to be top notch if you want to have and also your friend clique also. You need to also make sure you surround yourself with the people that have the same mindset as you do, the same saving habits as you do, so that when you need emergency fund you can easily just
access it.
Yeah, so I remember your own goals as you Benjamin Chibos here, and I bring to you very interesting topics on this particular podcast in real life. I want you guys to always keep it locked in, always view, like, share, and leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching.